right, our daily look at transit. I'm actually excited about this one because really a jewel, a gem, a nugget of the app industry based right here in Montreal. And I'm talking about the folks behind the transit app. If you take public transit, or even if you don't, you take Bixies, or everything's tuned into this app. But if you get from point A to point B, and that's what we cover every day at this hour, you need to have the transit app on your phone. I'm really happy that the CEO of Transit, Sam Vermette, joining me in studio. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Elias.
We met in 2013, back when I was at another gig.
That's right.
And it's
Very long time ago.
It's been nothing but a crazy rise for your app, hasn't it?
It has. It's been 6 years, and the team has grown, the division has grown,
Yeah.
and the app obviously became a lot more popular than it was back in 2013.
So
yeah,
can you tell me what's your workforce right now? CEO of a company with how many employees?
We are 60 people.
60 people in 2013. What would you have been?
We were 4 or 5 people.
Oh wow, that's pretty incredible. You're in how many cities now?
We are in 200 metro areas
Yeah.
around the world, but mostly focused on North America and Europe.
Gotcha. And of course, you got some big news. I think Apple gave you some sort of recognition, some honor in the last few days, right?
Yes, very, very humbling. I can talk.
Yeah, tell me,
about it.
because I'm not aware of all the details. Yeah.
Apple selected 20 apps that they recommend people to download and check out for the 2020.
Yeah.
And Transit is one of those. And so this is very humbling, getting sort of the seal of approval from Apple on being a great app and being a useful app is always great. Obviously, it drives some downloads, but mostly is just very, it's an honor and it's very humbling.
So when it comes down to it, your app is all about getting people from point A to point B using public transit. But I would imagine that sounds easy, but when you're trying to do it in 200 plus cities, and every city has a different system, like how do you manage that? How do you get, now you're up to 60 employees, I guess that's what it takes, but how do you do it?
Yeah. So there is obviously there are dedicated data teams who, their sole job is to integrate that data, make sure that it's clean, make sure that it's well functioning, that the servers are up and running, everything is running smoothly. There are open standards that make this fairly easier to integrate the data.
Do most transit agencies around the world, are they on the open standards, or is it a mix? Or?
At this point, most of North America is on it. Most parts of Europe as well. You, without getting too much into details, you have like the scheduled data and the real-time data. The scheduled data is mostly standardized at this point. The real-time data, not so much.
Yeah.
But it's getting there, so it's getting easier and easier to integrate those data sets as well.
What kind of a mess? And I know the STM is kind of sort of a partner, right? Because they got rid of their app, thankfully, because it sucked, and they're now letting you guys and some other guys get access to that real-time data. But how much of a mess is it when the STM has these mechanical issues and they're missing like 200 buses that need to be out there, and you've got these schedules that say there's got to be a bus on the road at this time, and they're not there, and I'm sure people are looking at your app and they're blaming you.
They do indeed.
Yeah.
So
How do you deal with that?
The way it works is that, the real-time data provided by the STM is the real-time reflection of what's happening in the system. So if a bus doesn't come out the garage and doesn't show up at the stop, then inside the app we will show that this departure is scheduled, but it doesn't have real-time data attached to it. So the user can see whether that departure is less trustworthy because there's no real-time data attached to it. There are some cases where the bus will actually come and for some reason the GPS wasn't turned on. So we still show the data in case the bus does show up. But in most cases, people should trust departures that do have real-time data. And when, for whatever reason, the STM is missing buses on the road, then the real-time data is affected by it. So people do have a way to know whether they can count on
It's got to be frustrating, though, when you've got an app that, it's so much based on ratings, right? All these app stores, they've got ratings, and someone will give you a bad rating because the STM isn't putting the buses on the road, right?
I mean, for sure. And this is not specific to Montreal. This is everywhere. And we get all sorts of complaints. Some people will write in saying your bus driver never stopped. Drove
your
past
STM customer service sometimes, or whatever,
sometimes.
Copenhagen or whatever city you're in.
Right.
Who's, as you look at it, and you look at the 200 plus cities you're in, who is and your team, and by the way, we're speaking with the CEO of Transit, this wonderful public transit app, Sam Vermette's in studio with us. When you look at all of the cities around the world, do you and your team say, wow, look at that city. Boy, they are spot on. They know how it's working. And where would you rank Montreal in that 200 list?
In terms of the quality of
The quality of the data, how much how much you can rely on them, and how much you say, wow, and how much you're in awe of how good a public transit system is when it relates to working with your app. Where do you go, wow, these guys are doing it well, and how do you rank Montreal up there?
Working with the app, I would say Montreal is actually fairly high up, and that is partly because we have an ongoing partnership with the STM, so this means that we're constantly in touch with them to improve the quality of the data, to make sure that we will communicate service disruptions. When we plan on working on new features, we are in touch with the STM to make sure that the data is available, that they know what's coming up, and there's a way to communicate that to their users. So in terms of how well the system works with the app, Montreal is actually fairly good. Yeah. But in terms of the system overall, that is in terms of infrastructure and like headway and the entire network. I mean, that's a more complex question.
Who does when you talk to your team members, who do they say, oh, this public transit system, it's a joy to work with? What's at the top there?
It's a joy to work with.
Yeah. None?
No, absolutely. No. I wouldn't say none.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to my original answer, which is, when we have an ongoing partnership, when we have a established communication channel, then it makes work a lot easier for us, for our teams.
I'm trying to get you to pick a favorite child. Can't you pick a favorite child for me?
No, I cannot.
All right. Has anyone tried to buy you?
It has happened in the past.
And what do you say? Somebody says, hey, big bucks, I want to buy your app.
What we ask what their vision is for the app, what their vision is for cities around the world, for what the vision is around what is their dream of what a city should look like. And then so we look at whether the vision aligns, and that's I think that's number one priority.
So you probably get a lot of responses. Well, we're going to take you and all of your employees, and we're going to integrate it into our current product. That's what you don't want.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah. But so the vision and what happens to the future of the product are the two main things we're looking for in those conversations.
Smartphones, new features every year, they get snazzier. iPhone 11, when the next year there's a new phone, that kind of stuff. How do you keep up to date? How does your team keep track of all the developments that are happening, iOS with the iPhone or Android or whatever it is? How do you guys stay up to date, and how much of a challenge is it?
Yeah. Both platforms have different tools and different events that make it easier for our teams to stay up to date with those new features. For example, Apple has a Worldwide Development Conference that happens every year in the San Francisco Bay Area.
You always go?
So there is a lottery because a lot of people want to go. So every year we sign up to the lottery. Last year we were fortunate enough to win some of the some tickets, and so we go there, and it's a tremendous experience for our developers because it's an opportunity to learn about what's coming this year, to talk with the engineers who actually built some of those features, built some of those frameworks, to ask questions if we have any bugs or things aren't working out. You can talk directly with those people. And finally, you have essentially the entire developer community who gathers every year at this event. So it's a great opportunity to talk with some of these people that you've met online, but you've never had a chance to meet face to face.
Well, Sam, listen, we're out of time, but this just happened to me. I had a friend who was going to hop on a bus, and she took out her phone and she opened up her app that she was using for public transit, and it looked so ugly. And I said, haven't you used transit? I opened up transit and I showed her transit in the interface and how beautiful it is. Like, it's a screen that you want to lick. It's so beautiful. And I instantly converted them to your app because of just how good it looks. So congratulations on the success. And you're going to stay in Montreal, right? You want to stay here. That's where you want to build this company?
That's also part of the conversations.
Love it.